Hey, what is going on, guys? It is HapticShot. Welcome back to another episode of me rambling on and on. This is going to be some Far Cry 3 gameplay, not Far Cry 4 until Tuesday. Then I'll be playing that and rambling on and on. But today, the topic of the commentary is 2014 video games being overhyped and why it is bad for the games industry as a whole. Not just for the games industry, but for consumers, for every single person out there who's buying these video games, who are interested in these video games. And yeah, if I can say one thing, I've said this in a commentary before, it is 2014 is the year for hype, overhype, whatever you want to call it. Oh, fuck. Alright, let's get this guy like this. Sorry, I usually do my commentaries live, so that's why I'll be playing Far Cry 3 as I do this. And as I said, let me get back to the point. 2014 is the year for video games and being overhyped. Now, there have been some games, and the top ones which come to mind are Destiny, Watch Dogs, Titanfall, and another one in a sense, Infamous Second Son. But in many cases, that's my fault as a consumer for being overhyped for that game. Now, as you guys know, the last generations of consoles just came out, which is now our current gen of consoles. And this was last year, around October, November for the PS4, not really sure for the Xbox One, actually. Not gonna lie, don't follow my Microsoft news as much. But, yeah. And with the new consoles came launch titles, which are obviously, you shouldn't really expect much from launch titles. And we got a bunch of games which were, as a whole, just eh. And to list some of them off, we got problems with a bunch of games too. But the thing is, people are hyped for 2014. I mean, come on, how could you not be? Titanfall was aiming to kill Call of Duty from the creators of Modern Warfare 2. How can you not be excited for a game like this? And that came out, and people played it for a month. People said, oh, it's disappointing, lack of content, blah, blah, blah. And there you have that. You have Titanfall, the multiplayer game which everyone thought was going to be a Call of Duty killer. And it ended up just being a decent game. Is it a bad game? No, of course not. It's not a bad game. It's a pretty fun game with some awesome gameplay mechanics, awesome movement, and you got a bunch of cool shit in it. But in the end, people were overhyped for it, and it was disappointing. So that's Titanfall for you. Now, let's talk about Watch Dogs. When people think about Watch Dogs, they think, oh my god, it's that game which lied to me. It's the game which took my money. It's the game which did not look like the one they showed off a couple years ago at E3. I believe it was E3 2011, which they showed off Watch Dogs with amazing, gorgeous, and beautiful graphics. And people, when Watch Dogs came out, well, at first there was that trailer which came out a couple months ago. And that trailer showed downgraded graphics. Since that, people were like, oh god, this isn't the game we wanted at E3. This is the game which we're getting now, which is not the same game which they showed off, basically. And we get Watch Dogs, a game which everyone expecting to be the next-gen experience. And now you have it in November. When did Watch Dogs come out? Over the summer? July, May? I'm not really sure. But you have a bunch of months later, and Watch Dogs has just turned out to be a forgettable title. It's just turned out to be I don't know, a generic game that no one really cares about. And that's like me, too, I don't really care about Watch Dogs. Most people didn't. It got decent. I mean, it got average to good reviews, but it wasn't the next-gen title everyone was expecting. Now, here's the other thing. If Watch Dogs wasn't overhyped, would people have thought it was an amazing game? Sure, why not? We weren't expecting much from it anyways, right? That's how it goes. I went to the mission area in this game, and that was a mistake. But that's what I'm saying. My point is, if people don't expect too much, they'll probably, I'm not going to do this mission. If people don't expect too much, they'll probably be more happier with the better product, with whatever product, happens to be. So, what I'm saying is, if people didn't expect Watch Dogs, if they only showed the normal graphics or what the graphics were, or maybe even lower graphics or whatever, not even showing the game at all, if you just launch a game, people have no expectations, I'm like, oh my god, this game is awesome. But if you're expecting a game to be absolutely brilliant, absolutely amazing, and then it comes out and you're expecting it to be the greatest game ever or the next-gen experience, and it just turns out to be a good game, but you expected so much from it that it kind of just falls flat. And that was the case with Watch Dogs, and somewhat of the case with Titanfall. Now, another game on my list which I did mention was Destiny. Now, this was the game everyone was looking forward to. Now, thank God they had a beta, because right when they got that beta, I knew exactly what I was going to get, and I still ended up buying the real game, even though I was not excited for it, because a lot of my friends were getting it, and I just got it too. Now, they did get my money, but I will have to say, Bungie did not, or does not, deserve any of my money for that game, because it's boring, it's repetitive, and it's exactly what they did not promise. They promised an MMO, first-person shooter game, a game which had MMO features, and this game barely has any. It has some RPG features. You can play with a squad up to 3 people, blah blah blah, fire team, whatever you want to call it. And this was the game which everyone was looking forward to for being the game of the year. It was the first new IP for Bungie since Halo, and everyone thought it was going to be absolutely amazing, just like Halo was when it first came out. People expected it to be revolutionary, blah blah blah. Came out, fell flat. Is it a bad game? I don't know. I'm not one to judge. I personally don't like the game that much. A lot of people do, but as a whole, it fell flat. It was one of the games. It got the Watch Dogs effect, because that's the first game which really I feel got the effect, I guess. I don't know what to say. But the point is that Destiny fell flat because people were expecting it to be one of the greatest games like ever made, and it wasn't even close to that. Let alone being a good game. Now, the thing is, with Watch Dogs, it can be argued that it is a good game. It has everything it needs to be a good game. Destiny is missing a lot of features, missing a lot of content, missing actual gameplay for it to be even considered a good game, at least in my opinion. Now, that's the thing. How are you going to differentiate a game if it's a game from from being good or bad if hype and bias and everything goes, towards it? Because hype is something which a lot of people throw around. A lot of people throw the word around a lot. Hype here, hype this. Get on the hype train. Everyone all aboard the hype train. Pokemon Oris is coming out. Blah blah blah. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, whatever you want to say. But that's the thing. Hype is the thing that causes people to expect too much from a game, and will end up leaving them in a sense of disappointment. Usually. No matter what you're going to get hyped about. Now, there are some cases where hype is going to be absolutely worth it, For example, I just saw Interstellar yesterday, and oh my god, that movie did live up to the hype. That movie was absolutely brilliant. But that's not the point. The point is you shouldn't be hyped up about all these games which are coming out, because there's no point. There's no point in it, because even I was hyped up for GTA 5, and I was expecting it to be the greatest game ever. Was it? Oh my god, that game was absolutely brilliant. But I still had that sense of something. I wanted something more because I expected too much from it. And that's the thing. That's our own feeling, but the reason this happens is because of all the marketing and everything that happens from the corporations which try to get their games out to the public. Destiny hyped the game as, oh, greatness awaits. You expected this to be this absolutely brilliant, amazing game, and it wasn't. It wasn't even close to that. Watch Dogs, you expected it to be this true next-gen experience, open-world next-gen experience, and guess what? It wasn't. Those are two games which also companies lied to you, which is another problem in the gaming industry which keeps on happening. And actually, I'm going to be getting to that in a topic later on, which is pretty interesting stuff there too. So, and another game which I'm going to talk about is Shadow of Mordor, Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor. This was a game which came out, and people were not getting hyped up over this game. Sure, there were people who were like, oh my god, I want this game right now, but as a whole, not that many people were really looking forward to this game. People knew it was coming out, people were like, alright, it looks pretty cool, I guess. And some people, a lot of people, looking at comments, looking at reviews and everything, were like, oh my god, this is just an Assassin's Creed copy, it's gonna be stupid, it's gonna be dumb. And guess what? That is one of the highly reviewed games of the year, and it got amazing reviews, and it is truly an awesome game. However, would we be saying the same thing if Watch Dogs wasn't as hyped? That could be. What if Watch Dogs got the same treatment Shadow of Mordor did? Then we might be here talking about how Watch Dogs is the game of the year. It was absolutely amazing. And that's what it comes down to in the end. It's perspective and how you look at things and how you feel like you're going to anticipate them. And that's all it comes down to in the end. But there are also some other factors, like companies trying to show you what their game is about, companies lying to you, and all that other stuff. But that's what it is in the end. Shadow of Mordor was a great game. Was Watch Dogs a great game? I don't know. I think it was a good game, but maybe if it was definitely underhyped, there would be a lot more people, including myself, to be honest, probably saying that it was a better game. And it's not because I'm doing it on purpose, it's just that's how it is, and that's how it works. And that's the problem with the games industry, because if people are getting overhyped with games, people are going to be expecting too much from games. People are going to be ending up disappointed from games. Games get bad reviews, games get decent reviews, and that's just the problem. And then games which are underhyped may get better reviews because people just weren't looking forward to them, and it came to them as somewhat of a surprise. And that's that. And I just killed an innocent civilian. I did not mean to do that. And companies just shouldn't lie, you know. Another game, which is an example, was Shovel Knight. This is an indie game which came out of... it didn't really come out of nowhere, but it is a game which got amazing reviews. Not as big as Shadow of Mordor and everything, but I just wanted to say and talk about Shovel Knight because it's actually pretty amazing, and you guys should check it out. It's a lot like the old school NES games, and that's cool. But yeah, that is my rant about 2014 video games and overhype and why it is bad. Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling on of me just doing some random shit in Far Cry 3. I'm gonna go down this thing right here. That's how you end up a video. This is oh, with a lag spike too. Okay, I mean, if you want to do that. Oh no, damn you rocks, spoiling all my fun. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. This was Aptic Shot, and yeah, I guess see you next time, guys. And I am out.